Afternoon, ice creamers. Welcome to the iScreemZ podcast with LL and Cool J. We have Mr. J with us in San Diego. How you doing, Jay? You good?
Doing fan-freaking-tastic. How the fuck are you? I said fan-freaking-tastic, then I threw a fucking in there. Whatever. That's what I do. How
Yeah,
the
I know
fuck are
that.
you?
That's what I hate about you. You just fuck up all the time, right?
I know. True, true. And most importantly, how the fuck are you, ice screamers? I missed you.
Enjoy the show we got today. So we're going to be counting down from number three to number one,
Yes.
our top three remakes of all time
Mhm.
and our worst three remakes of all time. And I'm going to let you kick this one off, Jay. So
All right.
go ahead and give us what is your number three remake of all time?
All right. Well, kicking off this awesome episode that we affectionately call Curse of the Remakes. My number three is going to be a House on Haunted Hill. The House on Haunted Hill.
Ooh, okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes. The 1999 version with Jeffrey Rush playing the title role. And I absolutely loved it. I think this is one of the best horror movie remakes because it was quirky, it was brilliant, loved the dialogue, loved the character interaction, and the thematic special effects were chilling. I loved it.
Amazing, amazing. I gotta watch it out. You know what? I'm due for a rewatch of that one because listen, I remember enjoying it. You know what? No, I gotta rewatch House on Haunted Hill. So yeah, I do remember enjoying that one. I remember that one. What do you think what do you think about that particular remake makes it work so well for you personally?
The scripting and again the acting. You know for both of us, when for any movie, it's the scripting, it's the directing, and it's the acting. Now, there's been movies that have had brilliant actors, but just horrible, horrible scripts and horrible directing. And these brilliant actors have to do the best they can with the crap they've been given. And you
Yeah, for
figure the
sure.
director wants to get the best out of these folks and would look over the script to say, does this script work or is it absolute fucking garbage?
For
And
sure.
it's disappointing. It's disappointing when you have the perfect recipe, with the exception of the script and the directing, and it just screws everything up. And you're like, I really wanted to enjoy this, but it's crap.
And speaking of crap, so before we jump to mine, what's your number three worst remake of all time?
It's a toss up. I'm going to have to go with Child's Play. I really am.
Okay, okay.
I
I haven't even seen that. So talk to me. Tell me about it. Come on.
well, I saw the previews and I'm like, why? Why? Unfortunately, Brad Dourif did not revoice Chucky for the remake. It was someone who I love and adore, Mr. Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill, who's proved himself to
Oh,
be the most brilliant voiceover artist of
great.
that generation and even this generation. And again, for me, Mark Hamill will always, always be the and the very best voice for the Joker.
I knew you were going to
Hands down.
say that. Yeah, he's definitely he's fucking phenomenal as a Joker. I knew you were going to go
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So were you a big fan of because listen, I got to say something. I'm not a big fan of the Chucky series in general. Like I just don't like we talked about this before. For me,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
dolls don't scare me in movies. To me, I'm just like it's like some fucking doll coming after you, give it a cosmic kick. Kick it against the
Yeah.
fucking wall, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
but but I did like the original Child's Play. So I'm on the same
Yes.
page with you. I thought the very first one, as a one and done,
Yes.
was very
Yes.
cool, was very original, and
Yeah.
but yeah, I just didn't see a franchise in there. But okay, no, that's cool. Do you have anything more you want to say about
Well, you-
Child's Play?
well, Child's Play, like you were saying, never foresaw it as a
Mm,
franchise, but it was a cash grab. And okay, you got these franchises, they're cash grabs. Very rarely will they live up to actually, honoring us as fans to be worthwhile franchises that stand the test of time. Again, we have Scream, of
Yep.
course, and Final Destination. Those are brilliant franchises that we both love. But Child's Play, yeah, one and done on that, man. And like you said, it's a fucking doll. Demonically possessed or not, it's a fucking doll. You punt kick it, like you said, or if you have a fireplace, incinerate the bastard. If it was my child's doll and I got it and all of a sudden it's being demonic, I would have start lighting the fire, none the wiser to the demonic doll. Hey, got to warm up here. Oh, demonic doll, bam, incinerate. Go have fun burning in hell for eternity. Won't miss you. Bye. Again, I think for a comedic horror, but not to be taken seriously, okay, it works. Okay, fucking demonic doll. All right. But really, and the only worthwhile portion of Child's Play for me, Brad Dourif as the voice.
He's amazing. He's pretty much amazing in everything the man does, right? He's really good.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm going to move on to my number 3 best and number 3 worst. So for my number 3, the one that takes the number 3 best spot for me, and I'm very passionate about this one, is Dawn of the Dead. Zack Snyder's remake of Dawn of the Dead. Now, I know that Snyder can be somewhat of a polarizing figure with people, but my guy knocked the ball out of the park with this one. The original, I was very scared when I first saw the announcement that it was coming because, and I'm sure you'll agree with me on this, the original Dawn of the Dead, I mean, it's such a fucking classic, and it's really... Yeah, I mean, this thing runs like 2.5 hours. I mean, there's some cuts of it that run longer than that. It's the closest thing the horror genre has, in my opinion, to an epic. Yes. And so I was very nervous, but you know what? Fuck me, he did it. My guy pulled it off. Yeah. And I think I could go into a gazillion, reasons why I think it's a great movie. The fast-moving zombies are fucking terrifying. The performances are amazing in there by, Sarah. I mean, I love Sarah Polley. She's just a great Canadian actor. Speaking about that is, I think, the biggest strength why it's definitely in my top 3. It doesn't forget that what made the original so great was the characters and the focus on the characters and getting to understand them and root for them and experience it with them. And Dawn of the Dead does exactly the same. It follows that same template wonderfully. You've got these great characters, that are all so disparate in their personalities. And the one that really springs to mind, and he's just one of my greatest characters in, I think, horror in general, is Michael Kelly's CJ, right? The head of the security guards, who, when he first pops up in the movie, like, he just seems like a douchebag. Like, you're just like, oh my God, this guy's a fucking jerk.
Oh, yeah.
But you get to, it's like, well, hang on. He's getting his head, he's wrapping his head around me. It's only been, 24 hours or so when we first meet the guy. Yeah. He's wrapping his head around what's going on, which any of us would be doing if suddenly there was a fucking zombie apocalypse. But as it goes on, and as he does get his head around it, the fucking guy has big balls, and by the end of it, he's like a bona fide fucking hero. One of the guys goes down in the tunnel, and he's like dragging him out, and he's not leaving anyone behind, right? I fucking love that guy. So I love Dawn of the Dead. You got anything you want to say on the remake of Dawn of the Dead?
I loved it when they were on the roof, and you had the guy with the gun and ammo shop across the way, and they're holding up the sign. Elvis, and he's like, there's Elvis, bam, and they're like, yes, dude, all right, who's the next one? I love that scene. That was pretty cool.
That was a funny scene, but you've also brought up a really important point there to what I was saying with the characters.
Yes.
What a fucking creative way to make, Andy's as much of a character in the movie as, you're rooting for him as much as you're rooting for everyone else.
Oh yeah.
But you don't hear him speaking until later, and it's all communication with boards. And it's
Yeah.
giving these guys how the fuck do we get this guy out of there? We're gonna need his guns, right?
Yes.
We're gonna need him. Like yeah, like amazing, amazing. And I love the relationship that develops between him and Ving Rhames' character, right? You know, because at
Yes.
one point
Yes.
Ving Rhames is ready to split and leave everyone to it because he's trying to find his brother.
Yeah.
But it's kind of that relationship with Andy that anchors him with the rest of the group. You know, the two of them
Yeah.
playing chess on the roof there, like they're doing moves on the boards or whatever,
Yes.
right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Well,
I agree with you.
yeah, and you're absolutely correct. No matter the genre of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta have characters that have that human interaction, that
Yeah.
inner torment, and inner conflict, but can come together in some fashion as human beings and build that type of relationship that we're all not really always looking for, but need in our lives. And starting from polar opposites to coming together for a common purpose, a common goal, and seeing how much we actually have in common and can relate with than what we have as opposites that we don't have in common.
So talking about characters, that's a really great segue from my number 3 worst remake. And we both love Carpenter. My number 3 is without a doubt the remake of Assault on Precinct 13. What an absolute fucking, oh my God. Just so wrong-headed. You know, like
uh,
for every reason that I love the Dawn of the Dead remake
uh,
is exactly the reasons I fucking hate. I sat through it because I like Ethan Hawke and I love Maria Bello.
yes,
But it was just fucking dreadful. It's like it talk about a film that completely doesn't understand
yeah,
what made the original so great. The original is great because it's simple. That's what John Carpenter does best. A simple idea and then throw interesting characters in there, right?
yeah,
You've got a police station under siege by these street gang members who,
yeah,
you've got your ideas, but by the end of the movie, you really don't know why they're attacking the station. They throw some things out there, a bit like the original Night of the Living Dead, but you don't really know what they're attacking this fucking station for. They're just hell-bent on killing the people inside. So you've got that one, and then you've got the characters. You've got Austin Stoker, who is a very, very important character. We're talking about a time in the 70s where black characters, it was very rare to have a black leading man.
yeah,
And
yeah.
especially I mean, yes, we had the black exploitation movies,
Blackaby.
that, right. But to have just a regular movie where it's not some, jive talking hero type thing, where it's just a regular dude who's very well rounded. Stoker
Yeah,
kills it. He kills it as Ethan Bishop in that. And he's, again, very, very important. And Lori Zimmer, who is a wonderful looking lady, but she's not played as the damsel in distress. She's not used as a sex object. She's as fucking important to the crew as everyone else.
yeah,
And then the one that really caps out that trio, and good God, I could do a whole show talking about this guy. Fucking Darwin Jostin as Napoleon Wilson. One of the greatest performances in a genre film
mhm,
ever. You've got this guy that he's in jail. He's there because he apparently killed some guys.
yeah,
You don't know why he killed them, but as you see the movie go on, this guy's got a sense of honor. He's loyal. You can trust him. He's a human being, and it gets you to thinking, okay, we don't know why he killed these guys, but whoever they were, this guy's not a fucking raving psycho. They probably were asking for it. They probably deserved it,
yeah,
whoever he killed.
yeah,
And so that sets up why I fucking hate the remake. No simplicity. It turns out it's some big fucking police corruption conspiracy. Like,
yeah,
oh God. And then the worst part is you've got your criminal character played by Lawrence Fishburne, who I love as an actor. I think he's great.
Lawrence Fishburne, fantastic.
Right.
Yes.
The character in this film, he's just a standard thug. It's got none of the nuance of the Darwin Justin character. This is a guy that's just a jackass. He's just a criminal. He's an out criminal. The end. He's got his own interests. That's it. And to me, I'm just like, you just completely, you're missing every point and every beat that made Carpenter's movie in 76, I believe it was 76 it came out. Everything that made that such a great movie, you missed it. So long story short, that's my fucking worst. That's my number three in the number three spot for worst remakes.
No, I mean, fair enough. But you brought up an interesting point about black leading men very early on in the era where there wasn't. And one of our favorite movies, Night of the Living Dead, had that. And he wasn't he was very calm, he was cool, collect, very articulate. And that was a first in not only that genre, but across the board, with the exception of Mr. Sidney Poitier and even James Earl Jones back in the day.
Though, like what you're saying about Night of the Living Dead, there's a really interesting parallel there as well, because I mean, they're both siege movies. Assault on Precinct 13, Night of the Living Dead. They're both siege movies. They're both dealing with a set of characters in a really dire situation where they're basically trying to fortify their place where they're hiding out and they're under constant attack. And yes, the leader of Night of the Living Dead, I think it's Dwayne Jones. I might be fucking that up, and I apologize if I am. But Dwayne Jones and Austin Stoker in Assault on Precinct 13. Yes, these are two majorly important characters. And in terms of, having Austin Stoker there as a cop, whenever you would see a cop in a 70s show, like you get like a black actor as the captain in Starsky and Hutch or whatever, but it was what they call like a pacifier. Like they didn't really have any particular role in the. It was like, oh, let's just do this, like a token black character for the black viewers, right?
Yeah.
Which is bullshit. And right, and Assault on Precinct 13 completely is like, no. This guy's very fucking important, very well rounded. He's a human being, and he's the fucking star of the show. But yeah, that's it. So I could talk like a million years about that movie. So let's move on to your number two best remake of all time.
13 Ghost.
Oh,
13 Ghost, I absolutely loved. Not only because, again, the special effects, the storyline, the eeriness, and just that kind of horrific factor, of the demons themselves and the build up to them and the background of it and the whole satanic vibe and what have you, the black magic. But it has F. Murray Abraham, okay, and one of our all-time favorites, Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard.
It has Matthew Lillard. Stu, we love him. So, and for me, besides again the individual demons and the special effects, those two carried this movie. They absolutely carried it. If it wasn't for them and how their acting came across and their character development and interaction, the movie would have sucked. It would have been in my worst. But those two, and again, the special effects, is what bumped it up for me to being one of my best remakes.
Nice. What about your number two worst?
Number two worst, I'm going to have to say Poltergeist.
Okay. I haven't seen it because I wasn't interested. I stayed the fuck away from it. So talk to me. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on the remake of Poltergeist.
I love Sam Rockwell. I really do. Again, one of my favorite character actors, truly. But again, why? The first one, and talk about franchises, the first one was all that we needed from the original.
Yeah,
agreed. We didn't need the sequels. We really didn't. The second one, the only one that made the sequel, the first sequel of Poltergeist, in my opinion, really creepy and something that kind of made sense, was the old preacher guy. That he alone.
But he came into the second one. He wasn't in the
Yeah, that's
free.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
The
okay,
sequel.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, my bad.
So
Gotcha.
the sequel, that's the only thing that for me, I could say, okay, the sequel was good enough. The third one, even though what happened to poor, I think Chrissy Rourke, the little girl,
Yeah,
uh,
Heather O'Rourke. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, oh, Heather O'Rourke, thank you.
that's
Poor
terrible.
thing, I mean, absolutely terrible, especially at such a young age. I I just didn't see the point of the third. I really didn't. It was horribly done. It was horribly done and did not do her memory justice. It
Yeah,
really did. And the poor thing died in the middle of production of the third one. You
yeah,
know, and I feel bad. I really feel bad. But going back to Poltergeist, it should have been a one and done. It
yeah.
really should have. And plus, the remake didn't have Tangia. Didn't have Tangia. So you know what? This house wasn't cleared.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she's very memorable.
Oh God,
Um,
yeah.
I think actually when you're talking about Heather O'Rourke there, I think it's very important as well when we're talking about the first Poltergeist
Yeah.
to acknowledge the other big tragedy that with that, and that was the murder of Dominic Dunn, who played the
Yes.
other
Yeah.
sister. I mean, I actually, because obviously I'm very obsessed with the TV show V and the miniseries V. And as you know, I interviewed Kenneth Johnson a couple of years back and Diana, Jane Badler. But I was watching us. I had Dominic Dunn was originally the original Robin Maxwell on that miniseries, and I saw a picture of her reading with what's his name now, David Packer, who played the little brown shirt guy there. Um, and they'd been shooting, and then all of a sudden, then the news broke that she had been murdered by an ex-boyfriend or whatever. I mean, that's good God, it's such a movie riddled with tragedy. But yeah, I digress. I just figured that needed to be mentioned
No,
there.
rightfully so. No, truly. Again, two tragedies coming from one movie that was very, very unfortunate. But yeah, definitely needed to be said. Yeah.
So let's lighten it up a little bit
Yep.
after that, and I'm going to go to my number two best, followed by my
Okay.
number two worst. My number two best, with a bullet, is the Philip Kaufman 1978 remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers with
Yeah. With Donald
Donald
Sutherland.
Donald Sutherland, Brooke
Yeah.
Adams, Leonard
Mm-hmm.
Nimoy, a young Jeff Goldblum. I fucking love that movie. And so the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, as we both will agree, because we
Yes.
both love our 1950s sci-fi movies, is a bona fide classic in its own right,
Yes.
with Kevin McCarthy there in the lead role, right? And again, one of those movies that, like, you think, oh, did it need a remake? But oh my God, did they ever fucking kill it? I mean, I don't know. First of all, I want to say, I don't know what was in the water in 1978. I wish they'd put it back, because I mean, that year was fucking killer. We got Dawn of the Dead, we got Halloween, all these fucking great, and this Invasion of the Body, like, there was just so much passion and energy in genre movies for that time. So Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I love it. I love it because it dives a lot deeper into Kaufman spends a lot of time showing interactions between the characters, between Donald Sutherland and between Brooke Adams, and Jeff Goldblum going to the reading there of Leonard Nimoy's new book, and he's a struggling author himself. I love the way that they really he takes time to show the humanity of these characters and simple human interactions.
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland and Brooke Adams, when they're sitting there eating Chinese food the one night, and he's like, he's like, do the thing with your eyes, do the thing, and she does that little goofy thing, which seems like a nothing scene when you're a kid. But when you start watching some movies, they just get so much better as you watch them from an adult perspective. And you see what he's doing. He's showing you how human these people are and how simple things show humanity, so that when you start seeing the parts taking over and the
Yes.
replicants, the duplicates that are not behaving. It's the little things that are missing that people are noticing. Like, this is the woman, she goes to Leonard Nimoy. This guy's not my husband. Well, he is your husband. He's not. I don't know, but he's not. He's not. And we understand it because they've spent time showing it. And it really gives you that. I love San Francisco as a city. I have never seen it more claustrophobic in a film because you really feel these characters trapped in this city and in this situation with no idea, how it's escalating outside in the world outside.
Yes.
And to sum up, that ending to this day is a fucking gut punch.
Yes.
It is a fucking gut punch when you've got Veronica Cartwright. Veronica Cartwright's character. Yeah. She turns up in the square at the end. You realize she's fucking survived. She's managed to, and she sees Donald Sutherland, and he turns out, dude, it's fucking chilling. You can't see it, but I got fucking goosebumps. I got fucking goosebumps. I just as a kid, it terrified me, and as an adult, it fucking doubly terrifies me.
It still hits its mark.
Oh man. Yeah. And that's the sign of a great movie in general. So for a remake to do that, I mean, I don't want to commit a travesty here, but I think it's better than the 50s version. I think it not that the 50s version isn't great. It's a great film, but it takes it to the next fucking level, and it just, wow.
It does it justice.
It does it justice. Yes. It pays respect. Well, we even get Kevin McCarthy. There's a scene where he's running across he's being chased by people, and I think he hits the front of Donald Sutherland's car and then carries on. So it almost gives you that sense of, are these set in the same universe? Is this actually has this still been trying to fucking warn the world that these pod creatures are out there? But anyway, but moving on to my number 3 worst, because I don't want to take up the whole show here. And I got to go Carpenter. Oh, yeah, it is. It's our show. We can do what the fuck we want, right?
That's right. Exactly.
So my number 2 worst movie of all time. Not worst movie, worst remake of all time. And I got to go Carpenter again. And that is The Fog. I don't even know where to fucking start with. Go on.
You start with, just like with a couple of mine and yours, why?
Well, yeah, why?
Why did it need to be remade?
Why? But taking into account that it was remade, I mean, to be honest, like I said, I mean, with Dawn of the Dead, I mean, you got to say why, but they did a good job of it. Why is the start, but if you do something good with it, it's all good. Well, they didn't fucking even understand the movie they were remaking. One of the great things about the original Fog, I mean, it's just a fucking great ghost story, right? Yeah. It's just a great ghost story. These are not young characters. They are, people that are, you've got...
Adrienne Barbeau,
who we're going to talk about in a more depth in a second. But people like Tom Atkins, people like that are, a little bit more kind of seasoned, and you relate to these characters.
Yeah.
The remake, it has to immediately be all fucking teenagers, right? All teenagers. The Elizabeth Dane, or not the Elizabeth Dane, sorry, the Seagrass, which is the boat in the first one where the fishermen first get killed. They're the first kills in the movie.
Yeah.
They're fishermen on a fishing boat. Yeah. What do we do to mix it up? Oh, these are kids on a rave boat. How to destroy the atmosphere right there.
Yeah.
Listening to fucking hip hop music and all this other bullshit. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Well, that's why the pirates were pissed, because it was hip hop music.
Yeah, they're probably like, what the fuck, man? You were playing Rush or something? We might let you go, but fuck this shit. But anyway, let's talk about Adrienne Barbeau and the importance of the radio station.
Yes.
Because this is absolutely probably one of the biggest travesties of the remake. So Adrienne Barbeau's character is amazing in the first one. She's a single mom, and I actually got to sit down and discuss this with her and discuss, why her character is very important to me, because I was a single parent there for 10 years raising two kids, right? But she's this wonderful, wonderful character, and she's in that radio station, and she could have got out when the fog was enveloping the town, but she stays there
Mhm.
because she's got this ability to warn people and let people know, okay,
Yeah.
go down this street, go down that street. No, that street's cut off. She's using, like, it makes it makes her character so
Oh
much
yeah.
more critical to the story, because
Oh
she
yeah.
is the beacon of light, metaphorically and literally, right, in this
Yeah. Oh
lighthouse
yeah.
radio station. And you get that one really, really tragic scene where she can see that the fog is closing in on her house where her son is being babysat. And she gives that heartbreaking thing over the radio saying, like, I can't come for you. Please understand, I have to stay here. And it's horrible to know she's sacrificing her kid because to try and save many.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, just sidebar, I said to Adrienne that was one of the things I found so wonderful. She said, I'm so happy you said that, Steve. She said, because you know what? I got one newspaper reviewer was saying like I was a bad mother and this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking like, yeah, they missed the point. Don't worry about it. They missed the fucking point. But so the radio station in the remake, again, it's
Mhm.
playing all fucking whatever, hip hop and whatever shit, other fucking chart shit or whatever.
Well, that I remember Tony Bennett. That other shit that's garbage. I remember Louis
Hey!
Armstrong.
Hey! Right? So right, fair enough, whatever. That's the radio station. Comes in, the first chance she gets, she abandons the place and fucking runs. So it's like, well, what was the point? Do you not? I almost was sitting there. I was like, the radio station is one of the most important points of the story. Do you get it, fucko? Like, that's honestly what I was thinking as I was watching it. You
Yeah.
know, add insult to injury. You've got Boris the fucking Blade from Guy Ritchie's Snatch. Is Blake the
Well, you gotta
lead?
love him though. He's so awesome.
I like him in Snatch. I think he's fucking
Yeah.
amazing in Snatch as Boris the Blade.
Yeah.
As Blake in The Fog,
Yeah.
eh, not so much. Not very intimidating, but
Yeah.
anyway, that's all as far as Forrest Gump says. That's all I really have to say about that. I will never fucking watch it again in my life, but whatever.
No, no, definitely not. That's something that you wish you could have your, hour and a half, 2 hours back
Oh
and,
God,
say, you know what, that's a part of my life I will never ever get back. You know?
horrendous,
But the
horrendous.
one thing that goes back to it again with the original that made it so compelling was the backstory on the why. Why were these vengeful spirits coming back? And again, after what was it, 150 years, something to that effect, at that
Yeah.
time?
Yep.
Why? That was made relevant as the story progressed. Again, it kind of kept you going. Well, why all this happening? Little by little, they started explaining to it until it all came into light.
Well, it leads to one of the great fucking lines in the original film, right? When Hal Holbrook, the
Yes.
the the priest, and he's the one that stumbles onto the truth of what's happened, that these people were lepers, that they were deliberately led to their deaths, and their gold was recovered to build the town. And
Yeah.
we're on the verge of the 100th anniversary of the town or whatever. And he turns around and says to Janet Leigh, our celebration tonight is a travesty. We're honoring murderers. And
Yeah.
that's a great line. And like you said, it's where the penny drops of
Yes.
why these spirits can't rest and why they're coming back. They're
Yeah.
not really evil.
No.
They're victims in search of justice.
Yes. Exactly. And
So
that was the interesting twist. That really was, because you're thinking, oh my God, these demonic spirits, they're coming in and wreaking havoc on, this poor, town. Why? What gives? What's driving them? And then the twist is because, they were wronged.
Yeah, they're not demonic in the fucking slightest. They're
Yeah,
pissed, is what they are.
yeah, totally.
They're pissed. But anyway, all right. Now we're really getting into it. The creme de la creme. Now we're gonna give our number one best and our number one worst. And I have a funny feeling, I could be wrong, but I have a funny feeling that our number one best might be the same film. So I'm going to let you say what your maybe it's not,
Uh-huh.
but we'll see. So take it
Okay.
away, Jay. What is
All
your
right.
best remake of all time?
The best remake for me. Now it came very, very close, and I'm gonna name my runner-up contender, but this was very, very close for me. Okay. It's 1982's John Carpenter's The Thing.
I fucking knew it. Listen,
It was
I'm gonna let you. You're gonna speak about this first
yeah,
because you're the. I fucking knew it, man. Like, how can it not? Can it
yeah,
be anything but the
yeah.
thing? Take it away, Jay. Give us your thoughts.
Well, the original one again was brilliantly done for its time. And it was originally called The Thing from Another World,
From another world.
1951.
Yeah,
And it starred James Arness, who was more into westerns at that time. He was either leading man or supporting character in westerns, but he was cast as the Thing in this original offering.
yeah,
And the thing is, makeup at that time, special effects makeup at that time was still kind of evolving. So the Thing in the 1951 version was modeled more after Jack Pierce's makeup brilliance for
yeah,
Boris Karloff's The Frankenstein's Creation. And they even mentioned that too. That's kind of trivia on there, that they wanted something that would be ominous but also kind of humanistic at the same time. So they made him look kind of like, again, Jack Pierce's version of Boris Karloff's Frankenstein, the Creation, plus these funky hands, that had, I
yeah.
think, the extra,
Yes,
an
yes,
extra finger.
yes. Yeah,
But it was very well done. John Carpenter, again, the one thing we love about John Carpenter, he's not only a brilliant writer and director, and obviously he writes the scores too for his movies.
yeah,
The most important thing, he's a fan.
yeah,
He is a fan who has a passion and a love for sci-fi, fantasy, and horror. So when he does something, he is truly catering and giving to us, the fans. And another thing that I love about this movie is his frequent collaborator and star of a lot of his movies, Kurt Russell,
Oh, fucking Kurt Russell. Yeah, he's amazing,
Mr.
isn't he?
Jack Burton himself. And know why? Because it's all in the
It's all
reflexes.
in the reflexes. I knew you were going to
It's
say that.
all in the
Yeah, I
reflexes.
mean, those are, I mean, three of the most iconic genre characters. Just to digress for a sec, because you brought up
Yeah,
Kurt Russell,
yeah.
Jack Burton,
Hmm.
Snake Plissken, and R.J. McCready, right? All Carpenter, Kurt Russell collaborations, and three iconic characters. We might as well stick with this for the moment before we do our worst, because
Hmm.
my this is my number one as well. So I'd like to weigh in as well, if I may.
You betcha. Well,
Um,
let me mention this, and I apologize. Again, what I talked about the original 1951,
yes,
the
sir.
special makeup effects, which were really good at that time. Again, we're talking 1951. But
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you have the masters, the wizardry of practical special effects. You have Bob Boughton, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Bob Boughton, and Stan Winston, that
yeah,
were behind the magic that was the creature special effects. You have the incredible top, or not incredible top, but the amazing cauldron of the perfect formula.
yeah,
Again, I got John Carpenter, Kurt Russell, and then those masters of practical special effects.
yeah, yeah. Amazing, amazing. I want to give my props to the original as well, like for the 1951, because it is just like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It is a great film in its own right, and I watched it again recently, and it I was amazed at how creepy those, like, because they keep Arness in the shadows a lot
Yes,
to kind
yes.
of to sort of gloss over some of the where the makeup might have been a bit lacking in places. But they're scary. Those attacks from the thing that like they are very, very like they're very, very fucking creepy.
Yeah,
But in terms of a remake, I mean, like, good God, yeah. I mean, like, just to think that this movie bombed at the box office in
I know, right?
'82. And I mean, listen. Whoa, I can understand how audiences were stayed away
Mhm.
because it was the same year as ET.
Oh,
Everybody was right. Everybody was high on this friendly, lovable, cute alien. They weren't ready for something so nihilistic and frankly apocalyptic as and claustrophobic as the thing. So
yeah,
that I can understand, and I can understand people discovering it afterwards. What I don't understand, and I will never understand, is how critics were slamming it. Because
yeah,
you should have known fucking better. Like you call yourself a movie critic and you can't see that this is an amazing and important piece of work. Go to bed without any fucking supper, right? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like seriously.
yeah.
And it's funny because then years later, I mean, because
Mhm.
now it's always on like it's either in the top 10 lists of best horror movies. Very
Oh yeah,
often
yeah,
it's number one. And then
yeah,
they're like, oh yeah, we got it wrong. Be damn fucking right you got it wrong. You
yeah.
know?
You did.
But you know what? Let's tackle a very important question.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody has their theories. I want your theory, and I'm going to give you my theory. The end of the movie, Kurt Russell, he set the place on fire. He's sitting
Mhm.
there in the fire, and then suddenly Child shows up, Keith David, and he's like, "Where
Yeah,
were you?" "Oh, I got lost in the blizzard or whatever." Blah blah blah.
yeah.
And people always wonder, is one of these guys the thing? If so, which one is the thing?
Uh,
So I have my take. What's
you know
your
what?
take?
That is seriously the $1 trillion question. It really is because everybody, like I said, are left wondering because you got Kurt Russell who discovered what the hell was going on and how to unmask, so to speak, the
Mhm.
creature. What it actually took, and he was the one that was suspicious of everyone, and he wanted to keep everyone alive, and he wanted to destroy the thing. And you have Keith David's character that was kind of going along with him, but also kind of see Kurt Russell unravel a little bit on it. And Keith David was like not really sidekick per se, but his right hand man. And you're wondering, well, how did you get lost? What happened? And they both come together and they both look at each other like how can I say this? Wile E. Coyote and I forgot what is it? Daffy Duck or one of the characters, and they're looking at each other because they're both starving and they're both suspicious of each other. That tenseness and them looking each other in the eye, that chess match of are you who you really are, or are you the thing? It's easy to point to uh, Keith David. It really is, but you kind of in the back of your mind, well, could it be Kurt Russell's character playing the ultimate poker face?
Can I
Yeah,
give you my take?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's interesting that you said about like the chess, like the game of chess,
yeah.
because I think that is the key right there. Because one of the most important scene or one of the early scenes is Kurt Russell playing with the chess computer in his shack,
Mm-hmm.
and he loses. And he pours the ice in the thing and says cheating bitch or whatever to the fucking but it is a game of chess
Yeah.
between the people of the camp and this extraterrestrial organism. And I think that Childs is a thing at the end. And I'm going to tell you for why.
Okay.
Because when they encounter each other after so Kurt Russell set the camp on fire and everything, and he makes it very clear that
Mhm.
the game is over. He says, you know what, this thing all it wants now is to freeze. It
Yes.
doesn't want it wants to freeze and get picked up by a rescue team,
Yes.
right? So people have often said, well, Charles is a thing. Why doesn't he attack Kurt Russell? Blah, 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 blah. Tell
Yeah.
you for why. Because I think the thing is evil per se. It's like Godzilla or anything else. It's
Yeah.
performing a function of it's performing it's like an act of nature or whatever, or
Yeah.
it's performing a task that it's pre-programmed to do, like any of us as humans, to procreate.
Yeah.
So at the end, when it comes out and he's talking, and Kurt Russell's like, where were you, whatever, and then there's like, if we got any surprises, I don't think either of us is in much of a state to do anything about it. I think that this moment in the film is the first actual intelligent communication between the two species, the human and the thing. And
Yes.
the thing is not attacking because there's no point at this point, right? It's kind of like, well played, game over. And they
Yeah.
sit
Yeah.
down and they have a drink, and that's it. You're left wondering, right? But I think that is the importance of that scene. I think that is the first intelligent communication where you're
Yeah.
communicating with a being from another star system or whatever, planet,
Yeah.
whatever, wherever it comes from. So there
Yeah.
you go. So that's
Yeah.
that's my take on it. Do you want
No, that's
to
awesome.
do you want to wrap this up and get to the number one worst of each of us?
Again, I'm tossed up. Oh, let me do. Oh no, because yeah, okay. So I'm gonna my consolation prize for my number one, and I'm sorry, I'm just real quick. Fright Night. It was kind of between those two, both written by Tom Holland, brilliantly done. You had a cameo from Chris Sarandon, who played the original Jerry Danbridge, and then Colin Farrell, who took Jerry Danbridge's character and modernized it and owned that freaking character. So again, that was like my contender. I'm like, okay, which one, which one, which one? Both of them were brilliant remakes, and I loved them. But again, I had to go.
Oh, sorry. You're saying that was your contender for your number one best?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. Okay, all right, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So it was tough, but again, John Carpenter's The Thing won out. But I had to mention Fright Night because it was so wonderfully done. It really
No,
was.
that's fair enough. Fair enough.
For my worst, and again, I got two contenders after this, and I apologize, but you cannot have this episode without mentioning them. But my number one worst remake, Nosferatu,
Oh yeah.
the one that came out the other year.
Robert Eggers one.
Yeah. Again, why Shakespearean vampire? Are you fucking kidding me? Does thou sucketh to slacketh one thirst in the midst of the night? Are you fucking kidding me? It's a brilliant cast,
Yeah.
brilliant cast, and they did not do the 1922 version any justice whatsoever. The 1979 version that starred Klaus Kinski was to me a brilliant remake.
Mm-hmm.
This garbage again, and I feel bad because I had a brilliant cast. I'm in the theater going, why did I spend this money? I could have waited. I could have waited for it to come on a streaming channel.
Yeah.
I was pissed because I was looking forward to it. I'm like, oh my God, a remake of Nosferatu again with such a brilliant cast. Uh, you know, uh, I just, yeah.
I'm like you. I wanted to love it. I really wanted to love it. And it looks fantastic. It looks beautiful.
Visually,
But
yes.
but it just sits there and does nothing. Like it does nothing there's nothing fresh done with the material. It just, yeah, look, it's not my worst remake of all time, so I would disagree with you on that.
Hmm.
but it's definitely not a good remake. It's yeah, I was very and I don't think we're alone. I feel like a lot of people were disappointed with that.
Oh yeah, big time. Folks I've talked to, they're like, yeah, it just didn't do it. And again, you got Skarsgård, you got Willem Dafoe, and you got Lily Depp, Johnny Depp's daughter, who all did, and Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Brilliant acting, brilliant, incredible actors. But the writing, why did they have to go old English for the dialogue? It made no sense, especially because it was a German film.
Yeah.
I would rather have them speak the Deutsch, as long as they're not goose stepping and going, like that. Uh, I would rather have them speak, in German with subtitles.
Yeah.
That to me would have been the way to go.
Right.
It would have been the way, or for at least for God's sake, have them have a German accent.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
old the old Shakespearean English wasn't necessary. Okay, I'm done with my rant. My two contenders
Go for it.
I'm passionate about as well, because you and I, we grew up with these. I'm gonna go number two first, and then number one, The Omen.
Yeah.
The Omen, because again, the first one was enough. I mean, it had its sequels, which were okay, but the first one, when it came out, I was still in elementary school, and it frightened the shit out of me.
Oh, it's a bona fide
Again,
classic.
oh yeah, I forgot the kid's name who played Damien, but he was creepy as fuck. He was creepy as fuck. He was. And then you have Lee Remick and oh my god, and Carrie,
Well,
not Grant,
no. Gregory Peck.
Gregory Peck. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So you know what? I was remembering that. I think Nosferatu just knocked me off my knocked my brain for a loop. But yeah, so you had Lee Remick and Gregory Peck, brilliant classic actors. The script was incredible. The suspense, the build up, the whole just eerie satanic vibe to it. It really chilled you to the bone. It really did. And unlike the remake, the woman who, in the original, the woman, this is for you, Damien. This is for you. She goes, and then clank like that. The remake, it wasn't for you, fans. It wasn't.
I like what you
It
did there.
wasn't.
I see what you did there. I like that. I like that a
Okay.
lot, actually.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the other one that I think was absolutely horrible, and one of the reasons is because they made it into a television miniseries, and it never should have, was The Shining.
Oh my God, that was fucking horrible. Yes.
Oh my God! Talk about infuriating. Now Stephen King was a part of it and was supposed to be closer to his novel, but it was absolute garbage.
No, it
Absolute garbage.
sucks.
I would rather, even though it wasn't close to the novel or as true to the novel, I would take Stanley Kubrick's The Shining with Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, and Scatman Crothers anytime as the classic that it is, hands down through all time. They never, ever, ever, ever should have done a remake of that. Again, a television miniseries where they have to tone it down and clean it up. Why? It it was an abomination.
Yeah, I don't like it's hard. Like it almost feels like a travesty to kind of go against Stephen King, right? You feel like I don't want to say this, but yeah, like it's like I know that the guy is not fond of Kubrick's remake, and I can respect that. He wrote the book, I get it. But Kubrick's film is chock full of atmosphere, and
Yes.
the older you get, the more terrifying it gets because I mean it deals with things like like middle age and losing your sense of direction, your dreams, alcoholism, all
Yes.
this stuff that we deal with in the real world. And you
Yeah.
throw Supernatural into the mix, and it's fucking terrible. But yeah, that TV remake, I remember watching it and thinking, "What the
Yeah.
fuck is
Yeah.
this? Like, really horrible."
Yeah.
But
If you again, it never should have been done. You leave Stanley Kubrick's classic alone because again, you're talking the inner turmoil and you're talking the interaction and the buildup of how these characters are developing and interacting with each other. And again, it's Jack Nicholson. It's
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, it's
It
terrific.
really is. Come on.
So I'm going to give you my number one worst.
Okay.
And I personally think that this is without equal. I think it's such a fucking abomination for so many reasons. And that is Gus Van Sant's remake of Psycho. Good Lord.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
I'm going to say this is the one and only good thing. It's not even really a good thing, but the one and only piece of, I guess, credit I'll give is that Vince Vaughn didn't come across like he was completely trying to imitate Anthony Perkins. He did his own take, and I think to a degree it was fairly effective.
Yeah.
But the film itself was just fucking horrible. I mean, like, who need when I set out to do a shot for shot remake. Well, first of all, that doesn't make any sense. Who cares? Why do you want to watch a shot for shot? Well, I'll just throw on the original Psycho. Like, you're not taking my money. But one of the biggest travesties is you do everything shot for shot. All right, whatever. Then you go and redesign the Psycho House, which is one of the most indelible icons in horror history. I mean, it's a character in its own right in the original film. The Bates house.
Yeah.
And they put together this fucking cobbled, like, you're just like, what the hell is that? Like, why? So you're doing a shot for shot remake, but you're going to redesign that? Like, you know what? I don't even want to waste breath. It's fucking terrible. It's the worst horror remake ever made, in my opinion. And if you do like it on any level, I was going to say, I'm never going to podcast with you again. If you,
we're done here. No, but no. Again, Gus Van Sant. If you're a fan of Alfred Hitchcock, which everybody should be, leave his stuff alone.
Yeah,
leave his stuff alone. You wanted to pay homage to him, doing shot by shot. You didn't do him any justice. You didn't do him any favors. And I'm sure Alfred Hitchcock from Beyond is going, well, that was really a valid attempt, but you sucked.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Never, ever impersonate Alfred Hitchcock again, because that was fucking terrible.
That was a poor one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Hitchcock. I'm sorry.
You said it like John Lennon. You said like John Lennon.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't saying you're supposed to kill people in showers. I was just saying,
it's not true. It's not true. Like, subscribe, tell everybody, pass us around like the fun toys that we are. And as always, keep screaming.
Ooh, that's a bit subdued that time. Peace out, everybody. We'll see you again soon.